G'day and kia ora. This is the Anzac Gamer, also known as Angelite85, and welcome back to the Anzac Gaming channel. Today's video is the Battlefield 1 review that I planned on doing pretty much straight after I did my unboxing, because I wanted to get in and play some Battlefield 1, obviously, otherwise what's the point of me doing a review? Yeah, the game looks good. How do you know? I haven't played it, so I don't know. But anyway, so I've played through the campaign. I've played a number of matches in multiplayer. I have yet to play Operations, just because pretty much a day or two after actually getting my copy of Battlefield 1, I became fairly ill, and I've been in bed for the last few days, so I haven't been able to get on and actually play Operations. But from what I've seen and from what I've heard, and it's just going to be a game mode that I'm going to absolutely freaking love. So it's just because I love Rush, and combining Conquest and Rush is just ingenious, I think. Anyway, so I'm going to start out with the gag. And the gag is graphics, audio, and gameplay. Graphics are damn good. Any of you that have seen any of the gameplay footage, holy shit, it's one of the prettiest Battlefields that they've done. And I use the term pretty as in that the graphics look good and pretty, very well done. I don't mean that the actual overall game is actually pretty. I mean, it's a World War I game, for crying out loud. It's not supposed to be pretty. Anyway, audio. Once again, pretty damn good. Some of the sounds do kind of sound a little off to me, and I can't quite specifically point at what it is, but just sometimes things don't sound exactly how I would expect them to sound for the time period that they're in. But you know, then again, yeah, the guns sound like, you know, I mean, the Louis gun sounds heavy, you know, and as it's shooting, it sounds heavy and clunky, and, you know, it's kind of, you know, which is good. You know, it's great. The audio is always, you know, DICE has always been good for their, for their audio. I mean, you've got to just look at Battlefront. I mean, that game was boring as freaking watching paint dry, but the graphics and audio on that thing were, holy crap. Awesome. Anyway, gameplay. Not much I can really say about the gameplay. Gameplay is usual Battlefield fare. It's smooth. It's fun. If you're into the kind of more realistic, you know, where the bullets have got realistic sided games, Battlefield's it. If you don't want to go too realistic like Arma 3. You know, the gameplay is basically what it is. I mean, I'll get more in depth to it later on, but you know. So now, the single player had pretty fun moments. The stories were very much what you would expect. I mean, there was some of it in there where you just went, "What? That's not real. That didn't happen. Don't be so stupid." Pointing at the Italian one, where you're a super soldier with these armor plating. That was just silly. That's like, what? Really? Okay, yeah, the story itself was heart-wrenching, but fuck, it's not believable. The opening parts of that bloody mission aren't fucking believable. It's like, what? You're super, you know, you're this friggin' whatever. You know, but, you know, for the most part, the stories were very much, you know, kind of showed off a bit of the reality of World War I, for the most part. But I tend to agree with Total Biscuit on this. I suggest having a check with the W2F is Battlefield 1. He gets a little bit more succinct with the single player and how it was a bit of a missed opportunity and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, Battlefield has never been about the single player. I personally am one of these people that get annoyed with other people that think that every single game has to have single player and multiplayer in it. I honestly think if the game is designed to be multiplayer, then it needs to be just multiplayer. It doesn't have to have a single player to you know, okay, yeah, here's the single player. It's the multiplayer, but you get to play by yourself against AI. That's it. That's your single player right there. You know, back in the days of 1942 and 2142 and Vietnam and Battlefield 2, we played with AI. You didn't, you know. But there is one particular war story that I absolutely love, and that was called The Runner, as it was based on the Gallipoli campaign, and with and had an Australian digger as the as a protagonist. He even has a dig at the Kiwis. And if you want to know more about what that is for us, basically Aussie and Kiwis, we're very proud of our Anzac diggers, and having this in a game as big as Battlefield and is just awesome. For those of you that come across this that aren't fully aware of what the Anzacs are, Anzac stands for Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, and I'm going to read this straight from the Wikipedia page on what it is. Was a First World War Army Corps of the Mediterranean Expeditionary Force. It was formed in Egypt in December 1914 and operated during the Battle of Gallipoli. Under General William Birdwood commanded the Corps, which comprised troops from the 1st Australian Imperial Force and 1st New Zealand Expeditionary Force. The Corps disbanded in 1916 following the Allied evacuation of the Gallipoli Peninsula and the formation of one Anzac Corps and two Anzac Corps. The Corps was re-established briefly in the Second World War during the Battle of Greece in 1942. So, to have, for us, Australia, us in Oceania, or us Australian, New Zealand guys, having the Anzacs in there and having Gallipoli in there is kind of important, and we're actually, I personally am very grateful that EA and DICE actually have that in the game. Like, for us, World War One, it's very good to see that represented in there, and we are all Australian New Zealanders are very, very proud of their Anzac diggers. We're very proud of our diggers, and we, so to have that in there is fantastic, and I'm just gonna leave that in there. So now, the multiplayer. The few short rounds I have played on the multiplayer in time that I've been able to actually play, I found it to also be fun and just as usual the gameplay, although having some pain in the ass stuff, is balanced. Hit reg, I haven't had any issues with, the overall, just overall, I haven't really found any issues with the game. I mean, there'll be people out there screaming, nerf this, nerf that, this is bullshit, and all I can respond to is, hey, I suck at the game, and I've been killed by that stuff. You know what's happened? I've just gotten better at the game. I've now learnt to be a little bit more wary of those things. So it's all relative. It's from my perspective, nothing needs to be nerfed in the game, except maybe getting rid of the fucking snipers. But then again, whatever. I mean, I don't mind. I'm more of a sniper player myself at times. I just, at the moment, early game, I'm still trying to find the kit that suits me and my playstyle. And once that happens, then the game becomes a lot easier for me. But anyway, the biggest game mode out of that game is Operations. And I cannot wait to get in there and play Operations. I haven't had a chance to play Operations, but from everything everybody has said about it, I'm just like, I am dying to get in there and have a run. It just seems like it's going to be an absolute blast to play. But overall, the game seems to have had a fairly uneventful launch. Considering, you know, EA is no stranger to botched launches. Looking at you, Battlefield 3 and 4 and SimCity and others that escape me at this point. The only issues that I've seen come up for the game have actually been from outside sources. So overall, Battlefield 1 probably one of the best Battlefields they have had. They've got. I would put it way above Battlefield 3 and 4. I wouldn't put it I'd put it on equal footing to Battlefield 2, Battlefield Bad Company 2, and obviously the Battlefield 1942 right up there. The original game, the one that started it all, I'd put it up there with that. It's the best one that they've produced in the Battlefield lines in a long time. So yeah, congratulations DICE and EA, you finally brought your A game. You must have learnt a lot from Battlefield 3 and 4, and you must have learnt a lot from Battlefront as well, and which is starting to kind of show. There are certain things that are a niggling little thing, but I've mentioned that in a previous video, the EA rental server video. I am not overly... That is probably the thing that is the biggest letdown of the game, is no third-party servers available at launch. Just no private and rentable servers at launch, period. I mean, the biggest issue I have is that they're saying, yes, it's going to be a first party and you're going to have to deal with us. And I'm like, that's not good. It's a monopoly. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, I've been the Anzac Gamer. If you liked this video, buy that like button a beer. If not, obviously hit the dislike button. Leave a comment down below for just what you think of the game itself, and do not forget to hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with the goings on my channel, as I aim to bring a video out every week on a Friday. Obviously some things don't obviously pan out that way, but I try and bring a video out every Friday. If not, it comes out on the Saturday. But anyway, I will see you all in the next video.